First snow of the year. I don't know why, but every year when it's the first snow, it's like a big deal to me. There's something about the snow that makes me think of you guys, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I think about you guys anyway all the time. It's really cold out here, so I'm kind of shivering. But there's something about the snow. Either way, I'm gonna go inside and make the intro, have a good cry, all that stuff. Yeah, what do you got?
Colors. Colors.
Can I have the colors?
Okay.
Yeah. What color is that?
Red.
Yeah, that's red. Can I have it? Okay. What's the next one?
Red.
Well, what's the next one?
Orange.
Orange. Yeah. A little trouble pronouncing that one, but that's okay. What's the next one?
Yellow.
What is it?
Yellow.
Yellow. That's pretty good. Okay. What's the next one?
Green.
Green. Yeah, good job. Okay. What's the next one?
Blue.
Blue. Good job. Hey,
Okay.
Hey, Grace. What color is that?
Pink.
Yeah, that's pink. Good job. All right, go ahead. Pick up the phone. Go ahead. Go ahead. You can have the phone. Nice job. All right. So make Cookie call you. Grace, can you say hi? You're talking to Cookie?
Yep.
Nice job.
We're gonna go to bed. We're gonna go to bed. Say hi to the camera. Oh, here I got. Oh, my arm is dead. You're like, you have the weight of a dying star. Oh, God. Oh, look. Look. Say hi.
Hi.
Say night night. Say night night. Say night night.
Bye.
Love you. See? Good cry. Hey, girls. Yeah, first snow of the season. And I'm still shivering. And I've gone and caught the sniffle. You're not going to get that reference. If you ever wonder, like, what the hell is Dad saying right there? Like, I've gone and caught a sniffle.
Look, I've gone and caught a sniffle.
It's from a movie, so that particular one is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Men very often deal in movie quotes. This is something that I actually delved into. Why do men so often quote movies? And it's because, and I've asked people about this. It's one of the few times where we can relate to things. Very often men are in a sheltered environment, whether it be at work or even at home. But they will throw things into movies specifically directed at men, kind of like in romantic movies or those sad movies that women watch, like Steel Magnolias. It's to relate to the audience, and for men, a lot of movie quotes are things that we relate to. I don't know how to explain that better. I wish I could explain that. But essentially, men see reflections of themselves in movies. And they're like, I've done that. And it sticks. So anyway, that's the movie quote. December 6th, 2025. There's something about the first snow of the season. And generally when it snows at all, I'm guessing all the snow we had at the house and doing the sledding and that sort of stuff. It's already snowed in Colorado Springs, but I wasn't here. I'm a little late on the podcast because I just worked 13 days straight. Been pretty busy, and it snowed as I was gone. I came home and had to do some shoveling, but I love it. I love my shoveling. So, anyway. Yeah, been staying very busy because otherwise, you may hear the term occasionally, seasonal depression. It's in the last part of the year, people tend to get depressed. And it's because of the holidays. People are always looking for that connection to other people. They're looking to just be with others during the holidays. And a lot of people, too many people, end up alone. I know because I talk to them. There's a lot that I do that I actually can't share on the podcast. But if you don't know, which you don't, I still work with a lot of men with regard to, on the surface, it's addiction problems, but that's the surface. That's the symptom. What's underlying is a sense of loneliness. And when people feel lonely, they turn to things like alcohol or drugs or whatever it is to get away from those thoughts. For me, my perception, those are demons. Now, some people hear me say that and they're like, no such thing as demons. Okay, well, if you want to go down that road and pretend there's no such thing as demons, go ahead. That's completely your prerogative. Demons are real. I can tell you that for certain. I've had interactions with them, and they are 100% real. It's interesting because a lot of people subscribe to the Christian faith or the Muslim faith or whatever faith it is, and all of those faiths talk about evil spirits. And then when it comes time to address things that are actually affecting them, and you say, you have a demon. There's a demon trying to get at you. Demons. There's a little red guy with horns. No, that's what we personify them as because we are silly little people with our feeble minds. It's evil energy. So during the holidays, people start getting a little bit sad and depressed, seasonal depression. And I've noticed for me over the past 4 years, 3 years really, of like trying to help people and be there for people. The start of October is when people start to go downhill. People in the beginning of the year, they're thinking, hey, okay, new year, yay, I'm going to make changes in my life. I'm going to do something different. This year is going to be my year. And then September hits and nothing's really happened. October hits, the holidays are coming. A lot of them are still alone. They feel alone anyway. And that's when the phone calls and text messages ramp up for me. If you didn't know, do I have it? Oh, I don't know. I'll see if I can find it later. There is such a thing as a divorce recovery coach, or something to that effect. Like all certifications, you don't really have to do much to get that certification. I did it in the course of a weekend. And really, what you are as a divorce recovery coach is you know about the resources people can use for divorce to help them. So you can direct people like, okay, hey, what you need to do now is do this, or make suggestions. I refrain from telling people you need to do this. I try to make the verbiage something like, hey, here's a resource that is available to you. And most of the time, it just comes down to talking to these people. There's 3 guys right now that I'm talking to who are going through divorce. I don't really know them all that well. They feel alone, each one of them. They feel wronged. And for 2 of them specifically, they're trapped in that mindset of victimhood. It doesn't do any good to say, I'm the victim here. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter. And I'll preface it again by saying this is my stance. But I see it as though God, the universe, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it, presents us with challenges. And it's up to us to rise to the occasion. The moment we start pointing fingers and going, they did this to me, they did that to me, and I'm a victim here, and I'm going to get this person back, you just lost an amazing opportunity. It's really sad. So, thinking about these 2 guys and the road they're going down, and I see it. I see it from a perspective of I've been there. And I see it from a perspective of, hey, if you just take ownership and responsibility and start trying to better yourself, things get better. It's inevitable. It always gets better. If you get trapped in that mindset of, oh, woe is me and that shit, and then if you go down the road of resentment and revenge, and I'm going to tell this person exactly what I think of them, it's sad here. You know what? I save these for a different reason than you might think. Do I want to? I'm going to show you this. Only because I want you to see what demons look like. What ends up happening, the standard progression that I've seen, is people deal with what is referred to as trauma. I don't like that term because quite literally everybody out there, every single person, has trauma. Well, to me, that sounds like life. So you just deal with crap, whether it be your parents or people you think are friends or a loved one, like in a relationship, and they can be self-centered. They're not seeing the world for what it is, so they end up acting out. And then you take on that trauma, if we're calling it that. Just the garbage of life. It creates a cycle of both people now feel like they're victims I'm trying to explain this in a way that makes sense, but unless you've experienced it, you don't. And I'm talking about experience it from an outside perspective, like detach yourself and go, okay, let me look at this situation here. What's going on? Because this is all kinds of messed up. You detach yourself from the situation, remove emotion, and then look at the situation and you go, oh my God. Okay, so the negative energy of that person or those people is transferring to me, then I'm acting out like they do towards other people, and it creates this cycle. And if you don't know what it looks like, you can just think, well, negative thoughts. So, that's what a demon looks like. I think I told you, I've been getting these text messages. I know who they're from. And this is somebody who, right off the bat, when I met them, I knew, oh no, this person is dealing with some shit. And it's a demon. You're a sick, misogynist, sexist loser. Okay. You should not be flying airplanes. Okay. You clearly have a serious mental delinquency and delusional disorder. Now, before I read any more, what happens inevitably is this person, as an example, has heard all of these things about themselves. And now they're taking that and they're trying to project it onto other people so that they don't have to take responsibility of their own issues, of their own demon. And this demon is telling them, now you go spread it. It's like a virus. It just goes out and infects people. You take drugs and spend time spacing out on your couch. So this person knew that I had enrolled in the HIMSS program, which was the sobriety program, which was really just to start getting help for my mental health. They're now using that against me. Spacing out, because I told them that I meditate on my couch. I've told you many times, I spend a lot of time sitting on my couch in silence, just sitting there. Thinking. Letting the inspiration come from God. This to me, doesn't sound anything like God or Jesus or Buddha or any of the main characters that we subscribe to when we look into the spiritual world with regard to good and evil. You blame others for your own problems and never take responsibility. Okay, no examples. I would like to hear an example of what this person's talking about with regard to blaming others and how I don't take responsibility. You'll never have custody of your daughters. You don't deserve them. Hopefully they ignore your bullshit messages to them. You're a criminal and a loser. Okay. Does this sound like God to you? Does this sound like anything like a good spirit versus an evil spirit? You decide. Go get more tattoos and work at the gym. That's where you belong. You're not a professional pilot and good father. You are a loser. You belong in a biker gang. You look like a gangbanger and a bad hombre. Go back to the slums where you belong. Now, you ask yourself, does that sound anything like good or loving or constructive? You tell me. I mean, you can't tell me, but you think about it yourself. Now, I have to admit something. I know this person says I don't take responsibility, but I'll admit something. That was in me. That was 100% in me. This is a demon that I cast out from myself and now wants back in very, very badly. Because the way I behaved, does any of that sound familiar? Because I've done that. I admit it fully. I do take responsibility for that. And I'm trying my best to repent and make amends for letting that demon into me. My experience was fear. I had overwhelming fear. The number one fear I had was not being loved. Along those same lines, I felt invalidated, like I was a loser. And that is what was in me, and then I projected that out just like this person is projecting that out. There are a lot of people who are going to hear that admission from me, and then the demon, which is now in them, is going to go, see, he admits it. He's a bad person. The loving ones, the ones that follow Jesus' teachings, will go, good for you, man. You got that out of you. Try and help those people that now have it in them. But you, at the same time, you have to protect yourself because this thing is relentless. These demons are relentless and they will not stop. I don't want to say for the rest of your life, because you can actually just, like, this has no effect on me. It's disappointing to see somebody else like this. But this particular demon has gone around from person to person, bouncing around, because they themselves have fear in them. You know, the Bible and all the religious texts say, fear not, like multiple times. Let's see if I can pull this up. Dad, how fast are you? You should have this planned out. I don't really plan these things. I just kind of just go with it. Let's see here. Chase and fear not. There we go. Here we go. Short one.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
This is going to be corny, but I think it's the most powerful thing in the world. You read every ancient text, whatever religion, the Nag Hammadi, the Torah, the Bhagavad Gita, whatever you read, the most common phrase, including the Bible, the New Testament, the Old Testament, the most common phrase ever repeated in all of those texts, do not fear. In every single ancient religious text is fear not or do not fear or some variation of that. Funny enough, the King James Version of the Bible says do not fear 365 times.
365 times. It seems like everybody from various religions is of the same mindset. Don't fear. And my take, again, is that the moment we start fearing, the moment we get scared, that's when the evil spirits can take advantage of us. So, what I do now, I don't fear. I have concerns, of course, I'm human. But I don't fear what's coming. I don't fear people's opinion. I don't fear, well, kind of anything, really. I used to be, I'll tell you, kind of a funny story. During the time when I was like fearful, the most fearful, and I was acting out and that demon was inside of me, My fear was off the charts so badly that flying airplanes, I was terrified in the cockpit. And I mean terrified. The slightest bump, a noise in the cockpit, whatever it was, would scare the living you-know-what out of me. And I was just so tense. And just, I was in this fight or flight type mentality where, yeah, evil spirits can prey on that. And then I'd come home and act like an asshole and drink and do silly things. Not silly, terrible things. But things that were completely out of my character. In order to become me, I had to get rid of the fear. To get rid of the fear, I had to understand what was going on. I make these videos for a bunch of reasons. So that you can know me and know that I love you. But the underlying message through all this is, don't be afraid. Everything's okay. It's going to be okay. As so long as we don't do those things that tell us to act out the way that that person did. I can tell you right now, it went, once it was out of me, it went to other people trying to get back in, trying to create fear, trying to create a lack of validation, telling me I'm a loser. You of course know Ryan Bond was the first person where I was like, it's moved to him. Those are the thoughts I had, and somehow this person is able to tell me exactly what I'm fearful of without knowing me. It's because it wasn't him. It was this spirit, this energy had gotten into him and was now directing him on what to say. Went to my biological mother, went to my biological father, went to a priest. That one was terrifying. Now it's in this person. It doesn't like the fact that it can't get to me. It's almost, in some ways, it kind of makes me feel good. I got another one. Let's see here. There. That's the one. Good old Denzel. All this stuff sticks in my brain.
There's a saying, when the devil ignores you, then you know you're doing something wrong. Wait, I'm not done now. You know, the devil goes, oh no, leave him alone. He's my favorite. right. Don't bother him.
Yeah.
Conversely, when the devil comes at you, maybe it's because you're trying to do something right. There's a saying, when the devil ignores you.
Yes. I don't want to come off as being self-righteous because I'm still a sinner. I still do things wrong. I still fight that urge to let that person know exactly what I think of them, and then I go, oh gosh, that happened. Not to that message, but to a previous message, I actually reacted. Remember, there's a reaction and there's a response. A reaction is always just that initial, I'm gonna let this person know. You're reacting. A response is something that you contemplate, think about, pray on, and then you respond. And sometimes that response has to be no response. And that's what I've taken to now. But when I reacted to that person, I was in a bad spot. I was missing you guys. I was missing Mom. And holidays, seasonal depression. And I reacted. And that night, after doing that, I just said my prayer and said, Lord, I have fallen short here. I fell short, I reacted, and I started to take on some of that negative energy and reacted with it. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to let that happen again as best I can. People will say, I give that advice to people, like, say you're not going to do it again. Well, what happens when we do it again? Well, that's the thing with promises. Sometimes we break promises. It's the way it goes. We're human. We make mistakes, and that's okay. That's okay. The goal is to revert back to the promise, to the vows, to what we owe other people, to what we owe to God. I make this analogy to people who ask me that question. Well, I did it again. And well, you did it again, JJ. You're see, there's no point. Okay. Well, I've also broken the speed limit. Terrible, right? I've gone 60 in a 55. I've gone 80 in a 75. I've broken the speed limit. Does that mean that now I shouldn't obey any speed limits and just go down the path of F it? I'm going to break every law now. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to steal something. Yeah, there's laws against that, but I've already broken a law. No, you revert back to the promise. You revert back towards, I'm going to do the right thing here. It's sad because people think once a promise, a vow, is broken, well, now let's break all of them. That's not a good way to approach things. You're going to end up in a spot where you really don't want to be. I try to show people that, and unfortunately some just continue down that path, and that's their path to learn. Yeah. And again, keep in mind, there are people and things going through my head right now that I can't share because it's private. But with regard to the people having addiction problems, I'm thinking about somebody who relapsed recently and then just went, F it, I'm just going to keep drinking. And I'm like, no. Just because you stumbled doesn't mean you stay down. Get up. Do it again. Keep learning. That's the point. That's the point of all of this. You keep learning. Because inevitably, when those people stay down, they try and drag people down with them. The person who is sending those texts stumbled really hard and is taking no responsibility and is basically blaming the world for all of their problems, including me. And what sucks is that I tried to actually help this person. This person was somebody, and I have a tough time saying no to people. So like I said, I saw the demon in this person right from the start. It was terrible. A lot of other people out there have the inclination to go, I'm staying away from this person. Nope, not going to interact. I don't. It's something I struggle with because I genuinely believe in the good in people. I really, really do. God doesn't create things that are evil. We fall down that path on our own. That's why it's taught that nobody is condemned to hell. We choose it. People choose that path, and God is very sorrowful that people choose that, but he allows them to choose it because of free will. And so with this person, every fiber in my being told me, Get away from this person right now. Do not interact. But I did anyway. And now this person is acting out. So that's what I was talking about, where you have to be guarded when you help people. I tried to relate to this person. I tried to say, hey, look, I've stumbled too. Now this person, because of the demon, is saying, see, you stumbled, you're a loser, you're a bad father. And that's their path. That's what they reverted to. So, anyway, all right, enough about that. Where are we at? Oh my God, we're 30 minutes in. How about something to lighten the mood? Funny clips. Funny. Give me funny. Come on, YouTube. Oh, for crying out loud. Where are the shorts? No shorts? You're not going to give me any shorts? All right, I'm gonna give this one a shot. I don't know what Leonardo has to say here, but here we go. All right.
Crime is up 37%, and it's not just the minorities. Even people with Down syndrome have their own gangs now. You've all seen them. They call themselves Antifa. Crime is up 37%.
Oh, jeez.
Right? No.
No, thank you.
No. No. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? No.
Oh, Muffin. That's you.
My husband is 57, 264 pounds, and his young trainer tells him he needs to walk 10,000 steps a day to lose weight.
How old is his trainer?
He's 26.
Yeah. Exactly what I thought. A 26-year-old kid trying to fix a 57-year-old body, man, that's the real problem. Your husband doesn't need advice from someone who's never felt joint pain or a slow metabolism.
Really? So what should he do instead?
Tai Chi walking. Less stress, more energy, and it's made especially for men over 50.
Well, this is,
Of
yeah.
course, I got it. How long before he sees results with Tai Chi walking?
In 3 days, he'll feel better. In 7 days, his energy will change. And in a month, you won't even recognize him.
How does he start?
Just click the link and start tomorrow.
True story. People who have not experienced what you experience, don't take advice from them. Or people who have had negative results from their own experience, don't take advice from them. I mean, you can take it, set it aside. Very often, because of our own experiences, we try to blend in with other people. So the 57-year-old is trying to blend in with the young crowd because he's like, I want to be youthful. I just spit everywhere. I want to be youthful too. Yeah, it's a terrible thing to do. And so that's why I actually try and relate to people. I am not comparing myself to St. Paul. I'm just using him as an example. St. Paul was not a saint to begin with. God chose him to be the biggest messenger that the church ever had because of the sins he had done. He had been somebody he had been murdering Christians, stoning them to death, killing them. And I'm not talking like one or two. The guy killed a few of the apostles and was on a rampage against Christians. He was on the road to Damascus, and Jesus showed up. The story goes that he was on a donkey, and they say he was knocked off his ass. But Jesus came to him, blinded him for 3 days, and said, "What the hell are you doing?" And then St. Paul became the biggest advocate, human advocate that Christ has ever had. Is that real? Oh my God. Jeez.
Number one ad machine in the world, right here.
It's a good one. That's a good one.
Ad work.
Remember, abs are not made. Abs are not made in the gym. Abs are made in the kitchen. Watch what you eat, and the abs will appear. If I could get away from the damn donuts, oof, I would look like a sculpture. But I love my chocolate donuts. True story. Yeah. That's what I have to deal with. Everybody's got a little gangster in them.
10 years ago, protecting your ears from power tools, loud equipment, machinery.
You're boring me.
Old girl asked me one time, what's the difference?
Whatever. Oh, I just wanted to have a good laugh before wrapping this up. Because, yeah, that's a little bit of a downer. But turn it into an upper. Yeah. I'm getting bombarded with text messages and hatred. But like old Denzel says, the devil is attacking me. No doubt about it. Ask yourself, am I doing the work of the devil or am I doing the work of God? And I'm referring to people who want to send out text messages and let people know you're the problem. Okay. Fantastic. We'll get the whole world to adjust to you. And if you're really good at it, you can become a divorce lawyer and really let the world know. Sorry. Somebody said to me, all right, I'm gonna wrap it up with this because I think it is funny. When kids are growing up, they're often asked, oh, I've already started this story. I can't stop. Kids are asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you get, astronaut. You get doctor. You get pilot, firefighter, whatever. You get. But occasionally, a kid will say, lawyer. And the reaction from the parents is always, okay. Like everybody knows. And if a kid were to actually say, like go even one step further and say, I want to be a divorce attorney, the reaction from any sane parent would be, my God, we failed this kid. I'm butchering that, but the person who told me that delivered that in a much better way. I'm hesitant to say it because they're still out there doing their stuff. Let's see. Oh! No. Yeah.
Divorce today is one of the greatest acts of hatred you could possibly do to a child. First of all, it destroys their whole theology. If the husband represents Christ and the wife represents the church and their
excuse me,
and they see their father or their mother put each other away, what are they going to think about God's fidelity to them? They're going to say, you know, I hear that God loves me, but my dad represented God in the household and he dumped my mom. Is God going to dump me? I think the answer is yes. If you destroy marriage, you're destroying the most tangible expression in their life of the love of God and how it works itself out.
Anyway, I've gone down a bad path here, but with regard to returning to the vows, returning to the promises.
Many people think, if it doesn't work out, they're just going to run down to the courthouse and some black robe judge or judge's assistant is going to say, oh, okay, no problem, you're divorced. What's going to happen? I remind them, if you try that, well, number one is you can't dissolve it that way, because that's not how it was fashioned. Right. It got fashioned here, right, with God, a priest, sponsors, and the congregation. You want to deal with it, you got to deal with us, right, period. Plus, what's going to happen if you play that game, if you run down to the courthouse and you get some little civil judgment as though that judge has anything to say about a Christian sacrament? What are you talking about? You go down there, you get to marry somebody else. You've got to find out on the day of judgment, you're not married to them. Exactly. You're going to come to the day of judgment and you're going to find out actually that God considers you married to this person and you've been living in adultery with this person. Exactly. You may be telling the whole for 50 years that this is my wife. In your life. You had no ability to dissolve it. When Jesus taught his disciples what true marriage was, they were completely scandalized. As a matter of fact, the apostles, these aren't just the normal people. These are his closest disciples.
I turn to this because I had to look at myself again from an outside perspective and look at my actions, what I did to mess the marriage up, and then what I was currently doing to not be in a place for healing. I was doing my best to be in a place for you guys to heal, for Mom to heal, but I really had to step back again. And that's the point of sitting on the couch and sitting in silence, is to go, okay, meditating. What am I doing that I can do better? And
when they listened to Jesus' teaching about the permanence of marriage, about the fact that fidelity was non-negotiable, that there was no such thing as divorce, they were so scandalized that they said to him, Lord, if marriage is like this, it's better not to get married. Jesus lifted up Christian marriage and explained that it is inviolable, that divorce and remarriage is adultery.
You get the point. So that's my take on it now. I'm sharing that with you because we talked about reverting back to the promises, reverting back to the vows, not going, well, now I'm just going to speed everywhere and hell with speed limits. You really want to do that? Okay. But anyway. All right. We're going to wrap it up. All over the place today. I'm going to fill you in on something here. I've been asked to take on a position of leadership at the place I work. And my mind is running wild. I got to decide whether I'm going to do that or not. It would be a promotion. And it would be beneficial, but it would come at a cost. So I'm weighing the costs and the benefits, and it is weighing on me. So if I seem out of sorts, it's because I got text messages from demons coming at me, and I'm trying to decide what my next step is going to be in regard to my profession. So I got a lot on my mind. And the seasonal depression. It's rough, but it's fantastic because this is God testing me. And I love it. I'm not going to fail this test. I've failed tests before. And that's okay. Learn from it. Okay. I don't know when the next time I do a podcast will be, because like I said, I did 13 days at work. I go back to work day after tomorrow, and I'm doing another 13 days. So we'll see. And then on top of that, I might be going and doing training for this potential new position. So bear with me. Dad's got a lot on his plate. But I'm doing it. Every single thing I do it for you guys. I really do. When I make decisions now, I think, okay, what's best for Monkey and Muffin? So, all right, you guys. Love you dearly. I'm going to go out, shovel a little bit more, and clear off the driveway so I don't go sliding all over the place. I love you guys with all of my heart. You go out, spread the love. Love, the good stuff. Share it. Love you guys.